Hello there. Hello, this is Carlos speaking, and today when replacing a 2015, 2016, 2017 Toyota Camry Front Exhaust, also known as, well, yeah, the front exhaust, but it also covers the secondary catalytic converter. So, as you can see, I have the whole front pipe or front side, the front exhaust. But if you compare it to the car, it goes from about half of the car to the front. So we're only going to be replacing that part. That's the only part where I need to replace for myself, because I am very certain that the second catalytic converter, this one right here, is clogged up somewhere in here, and it's not allowing enough airflow to the back of the muffler. So that's why I'm replacing it. But if you want the part number, this is the exact part number that fits to the Toyota Camry. This could cover the 2012 to 2014 years. Probably, more than likely it will, but be sure to check with the I don't know, the website or something to make sure you can cross-reference with the diagrams and the pictures and whatnot. Make sure you got the right part. But if you have a 2015 to 2017 Toyota Camry, this is the part you need. And other things to consider. Here's the tools I'm going to be using. It's going to be a 14 millimeter socket. If I could focus on there a bit. 14 millimeter socket. And you're going to probably a good wrench. And you're going to need something like a breaker bar. I'm using a torque wrench here because some of the bolts are going to be really tough to get out. We're going to remove 4 bolts, but actually 4 bolts and 2 nuts, 2 bolts, I think. Yeah. As this one's, you might notice, this one's welded in, right? And you might be thinking, oh, what? Don't we got to take this off? No. This one has the bolts in the back, or I guess the nuts. No, I'm sorry, the nuts. So this one goes to this side of the car, right? This halfway point. And then the one over here, it's going to be 2 long bolts, and they're going to be hard to get off. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, once again, I would recommend a breaker bar or a torque wrench. They're going to be hard to get out. I'm telling you, they're going to be really hard to get out, but all you need is a 14 millimeter socket. Oh, right. You're going to need a 22 millimeter wrench or something to get out the O2 sensor. But it's 22 millimeters. You can use a special tool for it, but I am using a wrench, as you can see. So, there's that. And of course, it will be advisable if you get a jack and a jack stand to lift up the car and keep it propped up there. So there is that. So let's get to it. Here are some additional parts you might need. You might need these for the front. These 2 long bolts that should match these here when you take them out. If you take them out, I'm adding this a little bit early on because this is what happened to me. Your bolts might break like this, like in this case. So thankfully I bought replacements, and this is the part number. Be sure to take note of that. And if you want the springs, here are the springs. And the part numbers. So you might have this happen to you. It didn't happen to me the first time when I replaced the exhaust catalytic, the catalytic converter manifold, the front part that attaches to the front exhaust. But this was what happened to me. So hopefully, if you want to be very prepared, you would have these parts available with you. All right, we're in the first half of the car. The car is jacked up and ready to go. When you look here in the middle of the car, under it, you're gonna find these 2 nuts here. As you can see, they're very rusted. I already loosened them up, but like I said, be sure to use a brake bar or a torque wrench or some way to get some really good leverage for these nuts, because they're very tough to get out. But yeah, once you got them loose, just get them off basically, and you should be able to move on to the next part easily. All right, as you can see, I removed the nuts. There they are. I even broke off a little bit of rust. Excuse me, a little bit of rust stuck in between these two, this junction here. Yeah, it's there they are. We're gonna be reusing them again, unless you have new ones you bought ahead. I'm gonna be reusing these. So yeah, we're gonna continue now to the front. It's already loose. Once you take out the nuts, you're gonna notice it's gonna be very loose here. But now we're gonna shift over to the front side. All right, continuing on. What you should see here should be the O2 sensor. I already took it out because I had to refilm all of this portion, but it should be connected to this switch here. This connector here. So my recommendation is to take out the whole O2 sensor, and what you would do is you press on this part of the white connector on the tab there on the right side, push it down, and then take out the gray part of the connector, and then using your 22mm wrench, you will take out this portion of the O2 sensor. Be careful with the oil pan, especially if your car has been recently ran. It's going to be really hot, so work with caution. So try not to get burned, I would say. So unless your car hasn't been ran or anything. So yeah, just take it out with a 22mm socket, or I'm sorry, a wrench, and it should come out pretty easily. And then moving on, right here to the very front part of the front exhaust are these two bolts. So these also require a 14mm socket, but these are going to be very tough. I'm trying to focus in here because it keeps blurring out. But try to take these out one by one, just like you did with the other side of the nuts. These are only bolts. There's going to be a gasket in here too, actually, if you want to replace it. I forget which part number it was, but I replaced mine a while ago, a little like last year, so I'm not doing that here. But take out these two bolts and try to take them out one little by little. You do, for example, you do like 3 turns here, 3 turns there, so on and so forth, until it's easy and easier to get them out like that. So yeah. Okay, so quick tip to help you out a bit. As you can see, I have mine almost ready to go on this side. Take the whole thing, right, and you're gonna work with the rubber piece first, but try to, you can, it's not, hopefully you have a little bit of strength. It's not too heavy, but hold it with one arm towards that end of the front exhaust, and then the other one on this end, right? And just try to push the rubber piece in place where the kind of like the prong was sticking out in. So you where the other hole was in the rubber piece, push the whole thing. Push the entire catalytic, the front exhaust into the hole. So and then eventually you will get it, and rotate it, and then eventually, once you get the rubber piece in with the whole front exhaust attached, just rotate this part, just rotate it, and push it into the back exhaust here, and just put the screws in place, or the nuts in place, and you should be set for this end here. All right, so I took mine off already ahead in advance. Struggled a bit because when you try to take it off, there's going to be a rubber piece somewhere right here in the middle. Goes right there. The
right near the bag, it's going to be attached there, and it's going to have a rubber piece. But what I did was, you pull, first loosen up this end here, right? So you pull it towards the front, try to shimmy it until the other end also comes off, and then, whew, excuse me, this is a little tiring, shit. But like I said, it's going to be this rubber piece attached to down there. So I took out the whole thing instead. It's going to be a lot easier than trying to get the rubber piece just out in place. So I suggest you remove it with the rubber piece on, and then if need be, transfer it over to the new front exhaust as it's shown like this. Alright, I just removed the rubber piece. It was pretty hard to get out, but whatever, you just gotta pull it. All you gotta do is pull it and shimmy it and twist it around, and it's gonna come off eventually. Just give it a try, and eventually you will get it off. So with that being said, I'm gonna transfer this over. I'm gonna need both hands, so yeah, I'll be back. All right, we are ready to put this back in place where the old one went. So let's get to it. Just do everything we've already talked about and in reverse, and it should turn out well. Well guys, I ran into the worst possible situation, and one of the bolts broke off. So now I don't have a drill with me, so I'm gonna have to take out this whole exhaust manifold and pray that I can get it from the top, because I don't have enough space to take out this part of the bolt. So I gotta take out the whole manifold now. All right, good news guys. I had my old catalytic converter, the exhaust manifold one. It's just stored away, thankfully. So I installed this one, and I had to take out the newer one, unfortunately. The car is going to run fine, don't worry. But yeah, closer look here is that the bolt broke off. As you can see, I tried using some vice grips to get it off, but I might have to use like a drill or like a torque screw to get this off. So but I got everything else installed. I hope for you guys, just put the screws back in. It's getting dark out here actually. There you go. Put the bolt in with the springs back in. Hopefully it didn't break off for you. And then remember the O2 sensor as well, and you should be good to go. That's it.